on YouTube. This is Marvin making another video on the way up to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Drop off some coils. Thought I'd make a video, but you're on my cell phone holder right now. It's kind of cup holder mounted, and it's got like a hole, so if you start shaking, it's because I'm hitting the pumps. But thought I'd make a video on just random stuff. Going down the road, and I was sitting there thinking about how much I really enjoy truck driving. I've done a variety of different things in my life as far as careers go. I've been an EMT for, I think it was like 10 years, yeah, over 10 years. I was in construction, I was an electrician, a little bit of a carpenter at times, depending on what they needed on the job site. I've done retail, I've done warehouse stuff, I've worked a variety of different shifts. I mean, I know a lot about the different shifts and stuff like that, working nights and days and middays, all that good stuff. And and I got into truck driving, and I kind of refound my niche, I guess you could call it. When I was on the ambulance, I really enjoyed working on the ambulance. I would like to say that I was a good EMT. And I got compliments about it all the time. Not boasting or bragging. I'm just saying what happened. But there for a long while, I had no idea what I was going to do after I got out of being an EMT for PTSD reasons. It was physically draining, but mentally I was not going to do anybody any good anymore. So I got out of the medical field, and I was wandering around between job titles for a long time, trying to find something that really clicked with me as far as the job goes and stuff that I enjoy doing. And so far, I think that I found it in truck driving. I don't really know what it is about it. I really enjoy traveling and seeing different things. Like right now, I'm going through the mountains, and East Tennessee here. I mean, it's like foggy outside, so there's like this nice, gloom of smoke on the Smoky Mountains, and so I mean it's just beautiful. Been able to see really cool things. I've been able to see a lot of things that most people don't get to see in their normal everyday lives, working 9 to 5. One thing about truck driving, if you decide to get into it, is be prepared to work a lot of hours. You have a 70-hour clock during the week, but especially if you're flatbed, you're going to work more like 80 hours during that week. Some weeks are going to be less, some weeks are going to be more, but you're going to probably average around 80 hours in a week, because you're loading, unloading, driving, dealing with either with the truck stuff or trailer stuff or load securement, tarping, and then even whenever you're off duty, like there's times that you need to do stuff to the truck that you can't do while you're on duty because you just don't have enough time. But you have to do it because it has to get done so you can make money the next day, or so you can minimize the amount of problems that you might have the next day. So, you like, say if it rains or snows or something like that, and you've got a tarp to load, well, if one of your days off or your time off is falls on a day where it's sunshiny or just dry, then you need to be able to get those tarps out, dry them off, because you may have a load of pressure treated lumber or something like that. Sometimes you have those loads where you gotta tarp them. It's not so much so that they don't get wet, it's so that they don't get dirty. That's the reason why they tarp them. I've asked that question a couple times now, and that's always the answer that I get, is it's not to prevent them from getting wet, it's preventing them from getting road grime and dirt, mud all over them, because then they can't sell them if they're dirty. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. That whatever. And but a lot of times these places you take them to, they put them in the mud or dirt, or they have them sitting outside anyway. So you're like, whatever, I'm getting paid to do it, I guess, so might as well do it anyways. But those days that it's dry, you need to get those tarps out, and you need to get them dry, because your next load may be drywall, and you got to use those tarps, and they can't be wet or still got snow on them or still got mud on them, or something like that, and put them on a load of drywall. They will refuse you. They will refuse you in a moment's notice. As soon as they see that those tarps are wet or muddy or anything like that, they will probably turn you away, and you will not be picking up a load that day, or at least from there. Then your dispatch is going to be pissed, and there's just a bunch of problems that could come out of it. So it's easier to just take the 30 minutes or whatever it takes to unravel the tarps out on a pad somewhere, whether it be in a parking spot or whatever, out in the middle of the damn road. If you need to, at a truck stop or rest area, just get those things as dry as you can, and then fold them back up, and then put them back in your tarp box or your headache rack, wherever you store your tarps at. Now, if you hear like clicking, that's my hazard lights. I'm going up a hill, so I'm letting all these people behind me know that I'm going way slower than the speed limit. But that's just something that, especially in flatbed, that most people don't think about when you're doing this kind of work. It's a lot easier doing dry van or reefer. They have their problems that are specific to those industries. But flatbed, seems like everybody that I've talked to that have done any sort of flatbed, they understand that flatbed is just where you're going to do the most amount of work, physical labor, and other kinds of various work as well. Because you got to maintain the straps, you got to unroll your straps out, check them, unroll your chains, get the chains out, check, make sure that all your links are good, because the last thing you need is a faulty chain, and you've got like a 50,000 pound coil on your back, and you're going down the road easy to happen in this line of work. In flatbed is dangerous. I believe part of a survey done saying that flatbed truck driving is possibly one of the top 10 most dangerous jobs in the United States. I don't know. It all really comes down to you, really. I mean, you got to take that extra initiative to make sure that everything you've got and that everything you're working with is safe to work with. I've always done jobs that were physically endangering, I guess the word would be. I've always done dangerous jobs. I don't have that fear of it. It's just a job to me, but as long as you put enough common sense behind it and really, just think about what you're doing before you do it, you shouldn't have an issue. But I like dangerous jobs because of security, job security, and pay is normally a lot better. You feel like you're doing something special. You have that special fuzzy feeling, I guess you could call it. Because not everybody wants to do your job. Not everybody can do your job, and your job is being a dangerous job is more, I guess, respected in a way because of its exclusivity. Now, dude, what are you doing? I had this boat in front of me. It just pulled out in front of me. I'm trying to pass it. Really going up this mountain. Totally effed up my whole momentum. So now I gotta get back over. That's another thing with truck driving that you'll really have to understand is that there are a lot of idiots, and you encounter them multiple times a day, every day, and they will do the most retarded stuff, all to get 5 minutes ahead of you or less. And that's just something that if you get easily excited or easily angered, that's something you're going to have to think about getting into this, because you're going to be an angry truck driver, because every single day, multiple times a day, somebody's going to do something stupid, and it's going to really get on your nerves, and you're really going to have to, like this idiot right here, instead of just waiting for me to go, and he's decided to cut me off because he's in a sports car and he wants to go fast, and he couldn't wait the extra 2 seconds for me to get over into my lane. He decided he wanted to get over in my lane before me. But back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. But you gotta really keep your eyes open for these people. Constantly be checking your mirrors. One cool thing about Maverick and some of the other companies that are starting to come out or starting to install them in their trucks are these mirror cameras. They really, really help because they not only add an extra dimension of safety as far as visibility goes, they also have the night vision for nighttime. I mean, that has definitely saved me a few times, but it has saved other people's lives in the process. They were doing something stupid, like driving at night with no headlights on, and you know, I was able to see them in the mirror eye camera monitors, and they were like just sitting over here in the passenger side in my blind spot. But because of that camera, I was able to see them sitting over there. Couldn't see them in my outside mirror because they had no lights on. I don't know why they were driving down a dark interstate with no lights on, but they were sitting over there. I don't know if they were like scoping my trailer out or scoping me out. What, I don't know. People do weird things for weird reasons. But I was able to see him because I was about to get over. And luckily, I always check the outside and the inside, mirrors. The inside being the mirror eye monitor, and I was able to spot him in that, and I saw him, and he don't know it, but he could have died that day because there wasn't nothing but a concrete wall next to him, so he was not going to go anywhere but underneath my trailer. And you got to constantly check your mirrors and be seeing what's going on around you, because these people, they don't care. They'll do something stupid in a heartbeat thinking it's perfectly fine. They don't understand your limitations and your capabilities. I think that's definitely something that should be taught in just ordinary classes or in the manuals for when you get your driver's license for a regular car, a four-wheeled car, is that you need, that was a big pothole, but you need to understand that I can't stop on a dime, I can't cut a corner sharply, and that I need to have space, and I need to have a lane, and I need to have distance between me and you to stop. And you don't need to be cutting me off for no stupid reason. Just wait, and you can go around me in a safer manner, or just hang back, get off at your exit. You don't have to blow past me and then cut me off at the last second just so you can get off at the exit just to get trapped at a stoplight. It happens to me every day, that particular scenario. They don't want to wait the extra 15-20 seconds. They want to blow by me, cut me off at the last possible second, get off at their exit, and then get stuck at a traffic light. They could have had a wreck, could have caused somebody else an injury, they could have killed themselves, killed somebody else, but they don't think about that. They get in their rush, they get in their lives, and I know everybody's got something on their mind at the same time, but when you're around a big truck like myself, especially a flatbed truck, the load that I got on my trailer, or anybody else that does flatbed, it is basically being held on by hopes and dreams. And that is hopes that those chains or those straps hold. And they should, as long as you do your securement properly. But there is always a chance. So I don't really think that chance is worth an extra 5, 10, 20 seconds, even 5 minutes. It doesn't make that much sense to me, but whatever. But I just wanted to make a little video about certain things that goes on in this life, and for anybody that's wanting to get into truck driving. If you're stuck in a rut in your life where you haven't really found your job that makes you happy, that you enjoy going to, there's some days that you're not going to want to wake up and, hop in the driver's seat and start driving. Like, there's just some days where you're just like, man, this sucks. I don't want to do this today. But then there's more days that I feel, as long as you understand the job when you get into it, that you got to take the goods and highlight them more than the bads. And I think that should go with any job, but especially this, because you're going to see a lot of negative stuff. You're going to hear a lot of negative stuff. There's a lot of truck drivers that's been out here for 40 damn years. They're old, they're bitter, they're broken, and you got to be a little off in the head to do this job anyways for a long period of time. And because you're by yourself a lot of the times, you're doing things on your own. You definitely have to be somewhat of an introvert. Introverted people can do this job with no problem. Like, it is probably the perfect job for someone that is introverted. It may be even perfect for somebody that has like ADD, because you got to be like hyper focused on certain things, and then you also have the capability of using your ADD to your advantage. Because you might have to scan these mirrors, scan this one, scan that one, and then be constantly bouncing around between focus topics. And then you gotta also remain hyper focused on certain things, that way that you can maintain a safe perimeter around your truck. There's just certain things that you got to really pay attention to, but you could have the capability of bouncing around between certain things. It allows you to use that ADD to your advantage. I think that's all I got going on right now. I'm at a 20 plus minute video, but I hope this was helpful. If you really like what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. I'll make some more videos about random topics that come to my mind. Hope the video wasn't too shaky for you. If it was, I apologize. Doing what I can with what I got. And y'all take it easy. Be safe out there. Keep the wheels rolling. And like, subscribe, comment. And y'all have a good one. Peace.